The Redmi Note 6 Pro, it's finally here, it's official, and I know a lot of you guys out there are dying to get your hands on one of these. I mean, why not, right? The Redmi Note 5 Pro was arguably the best phone in its segment, and well, the Redmi Note 6 Pro improves on it. But there is a new kid on the block that seems to have flown under a lot of people's radars. Yep, we are talking about the Honor 8X. So in this video, let's see how it stacks up when compared to Xiaomi's latest budget offering, the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and let's get started. If you do end up liking this video, please don't forget to turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon. And oh yeah, we have a few monthly giveaways running. You can join by clicking this card right here. Check it out if you like that sort of thing. From the back, these two phones are as different as they can be. On the Redmi side of things, we have the tried and tested Xiaomi design language. While dated, yes, the rounded corners in the metal back do make for a comfortable in-hand feel. On the other hand, we have the slippery glass back of the Honor 8X, and while the two-tone glass back might attract its fair share of fingerprints, it does look absolutely gorgeous, especially with the way light reflects off it. So generally, I do leave build and design up to you guys, but this time the premium build, the bold design language of the Honor 8X means I'm going to give this one to the 8X. It just steals it from the 6 Pro. But if you are someone who prefers the more muted metal build of the Redmi Note 6 Pro and having an IR blaster is super important to you, feel free to switch the scores around. Now, talking about around, let's turn these phones around and you'd see that they are a lot more similar. Both feature Full HD Plus displays. It is a 6.5-inch LTPS panel on the Honor 8X, while the Redmi Note 6 Pro features a 6.26-inch display. Then we come to the notches. Both of them have notches, yes, after all it is 2018, right? But the one on the 8X is smaller than the one on the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Makes sense since the Redmi sports dual cameras to the front, a 20-megapixel primary and a 2-megapixel depth sensor, while the 8X only has a single 16-megapixel selfie shooter. Now, despite the bigger screen size, the 8X is only slightly taller than the Note 6 Pro. Honor has done an impressive job here of shaving off the bezels. So the screen-to-body ratio is quite good for the price segment. Now, coming back to the displays themselves, we have two really vibrant looking panels here and frankly, not much to complain about. The thinner bezels and smaller chin makes for a more immersive movie watching experience on the 8X, but the Note 6 Pro strikes back with a louder and more fuller sounding speaker and also better audio output via the 3.5mm headphone jack. Despite that, the Honor 8X manages to edge forward and take another round lead from the Redmi Note 6 Pro. So next up, we have internals. Can Xiaomi mount a comeback? Seems unlikely as the Kirin 710 on the Honor 8X is a much better chip than the Snapdragon 636 found on the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Now don't get me wrong, the 636 was and still is a decent performer. But when it comes to benchmarks or intense usage, the newer Kirin chip just pulls ahead. On the memory front, we have 4 and 6 GB RAM variants of both phones with 64 and 128 gigs of onboard storage. The 8X though pulls ahead yet again with a dedicated microSD card slot, while the Note 6 Pro has to make do with a hybrid slot. Xiaomi hits right back with regards to battery life. We have a 4000 mAh battery on the Redmi Note 6 Pro, a 258 mAh increase from the 3750 mAh unit on the 8X. But it's not just the 6% increase in capacity that makes a difference. The less powerful chip along with MIUI 10 optimizations mean that the Redmi Note 6 Pro can easily last a day and a half of moderate use. So while the 8X wins performance, the Note 6 Pro takes battery. Okay, so it's been looking pretty bleak for the Note 6 Pro till now, but software is where Xiaomi turns it all around. Usually we have MIUI 10 on the Note 6 Pro and MIUI 8.2 on the Honor 8X, both built on top of Android 8.1 Oreo. Now when it comes to day-to-day usage or features, both of these interfaces are really good. But what makes MIUI stand out for me is the amount of customization opportunities that it provides. Also, while Honor and Xiaomi both don't have what I'd call a good record when it comes to updating their phones, Xiaomi does roll out their MIUI updates pretty consistently. Yes, that's not really Android version upgrades, I understand, but at least they are taking note of their phones But MIUI has also been embroiled in a lot of ad-related controversies with full-screen pop-up ads on their first-party apps and some pop-ups for social media, and with some people claiming that they're seeing ads even baked into the menu, into the settings menu. So Xiaomi seems to might have just crossed a line here, and my social media feed's been filled with screenshots from you guys telling me how your MIUI devices have been taken over by ads. At the end of the day, the UI is more of a personal choice, so I'm gonna let you choose this one. But personally, for me, the ad situation, I should probably do a separate video about this, but then personally for me, the ad situation with MIUI, it hasn't been horrible yet. I wouldn't call it horrible yet because I haven't seen ads being baked into the settings menu. I've never seen it on a phone that I've used. But yes, there are annoying ads, pop-up full screen ads when you use a first-party app. But then using first-party apps, that isn't mandatory, right? Whether it's a file manager, whether it's music, whether it's video, you can always install another app, and it's not like Xiaomi doesn't let you swap the default app. So take all that into account and make a choice. This round is going to be on you. So finally, let's talk cameras. The 8X has a 20 megapixel primary shooter with an f1.8 aperture that is coupled with a 2 megapixel depth sensor. On the other hand, the Redmi Note 6 Pro comes with a 12 megapixel f1.9 primary with 1.4 micron sized pixels, and it is coupled with a 5 megapixel depth sensor. Under bright light, both these cameras take excellent photos. The 8X does tend to oversaturate colors a bit, especially with that AI mode on, but even with it turned off, it was still a bit too saturated for my liking. The Redmi Note 6 Pro, on the other hand, captured some beautiful photos. Just look at the dynamic range here. Xiaomi has managed to bring out detail from even the leaves in the shadows. Moving on to more challenging shooting conditions, here we have some low-light shots taken on both these devices, and the results are pretty clear. The Note 6 Pro takes pictures with a lot more detail. Just look at the log in this pic. And despite pushing the ISO way up compared to what the 8X does, the Note 6 Pro still manages to come out looking better. Now onto the front camera then. Again, selfies taken by the Note 6 Pro look a lot more natural when compared to those taken with the 8X. And that extra depth module helps produce some realistic bokeh when it comes to portrait selfies. The edge detection is much better. Even when it comes to normal rear camera portraits, the Note 6 Pro edges out the Honor 8X with better edge detection again, as well as more true-to-life skin tones. As far as video goes, both these phones are capped at 1080p, although the 8X manages 60 FPS while the Redmi Note 6 Pro is capped at 30 FPS. That said, the 8X did seem to struggle to focus and the dynamic range just wasn't there. So overall, the Redmi Note 6 Pro captured the better footage, the details, dynamic range and colors were all better on Xiaomi, and EIS did pitch in to smooth out the jitters. So now coming to software features, we have a super slow-mo 480 FPS option at 720p on the 8X, as well as some portrait lighting effects. These are features that we've mostly seen restricted to higher-end devices, so I'm glad to see them trickle down to the budget segment. Speaking of the budget segment, let's come down to the one factor that makes or breaks a device in the Indian market: the pricing. Now, the Honor 8X is already available on sale for 15,000 rupees. That's for the 464 and 16 for the 664 model. On the other hand, we have the Note 6 Pro that's being priced at 14K for the 4GB version, and the 6GB version is gonna be coming in at 16,000 rupees. Of course, to stir up hype for the new launch, Xiaomi has slashed 1,000 rupees of both variants for the first few sales, but that's just Black Friday pricing and I'm not gonna take that into account in this comparison. So with the regular pricing of the 6 Pro being just 1,000 rupees lesser than the 8X, it almost takes the price factor out of the equation. And with that out of the way, who exactly is the Redmi Note 6 Pro for? Well, if you really want the best cameras, an IR blaster or slightly better battery life, well then the Redmi Note 6 Pro is the phone for you. For everyone else who are looking for a better looking, more powerful phone that has got good battery life and a decent camera, at least for photography, well the Honor 8X is definitely going to be your pick. When I started this comparison, I didn't really think that Honor would win by such a large margin. I mean, as good as the cameras on the Note 6 Pro are, it seems at this point Xiaomi did too little with this upgrade, and they might be a little too late to catch up to the changing trends. But then, that might just be me. Now I'd want to know what you guys think of these two phones. Which one of them would you go for? Or would it be something completely different like the Motorola Moto One Power or a Realme phone or the Nokia 6.1 Plus? Let me know which phone is your favorite in this price segment. And if you want to see any other device go up against the Redmi Note 6 Pro, leave a comment down below and I'll try to make it happen. And with that, it is now time I bid you adieu. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on what you felt about this video. Subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our daily content. Share this video with friends and family if you can. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.